this would help with some of the upward pressure for Canadian corporations and other corporations to behave well in the world marketplace and put an upward pressure instead of a downward pressure on wages and working conditions, among other things. But I'm not going to talk about that because the time is limited. Malcolm's got somewhere to go. So what I will talk about really briefly, and Scott's just going to have to sit there and be embarrassed about how important the work Scott is doing and why it's important. And this idea came to me this morning when I received a call from my mother. My mother was a nurse who worked at St. Joe's for a very long time. But back in those days, you could work full-time hours on a part-time status and collect your pension benefit and get a percentage rather than to have to contribute to a plan. They don't allow that anymore. But in any event, she is now 70 years young and is in the position of working to supplement her income. Her condo rates have gone up, just like everything goes up. Don't get me wrong, she's a nurse and she loves helping people and she wants to do that. But after, a conversation of, well, why are you really working, ultimately comes back down to, I need to get by. We all need to get by. None of us are immune from it. So when the government comes and says in the bankruptcy context, we're going to put in a good faith obligation, I'm here to tell you as a former labor lawyer who did bankruptcy law, that we all operated on good faith anyway. That's no addition whatsoever. And if you did operate on good faith, it was an abusive process and a judge could ding you for that. You didn't want that. So all of the things that we see and we continue to see from our current government is window dressing, is a promise for the future, which is, as we know, and you can point to many areas, whatever areas they are, those promises that they haven't kept. Remember, this was the year they were balancing the budget. Remember? They've done very few things in a way that would help you in your everyday life. And the test I will have for people at the door is, if you're considering voting Liberal again, please close your eyes and tell me what they've done for you. And when you can't think of anything, and you need some Liberal to tell you the things that we've done for you, that is a good indication of if those things have really helped you in your life. So, the good news for all of this, and the good news, the NDP is working for everyday folks trying to improve their lives, whether it's pharmacare or housing or a whole bunch of things, and I won't go into why or how, because Scott has done that very well today, is that we have an opportunity. The opportunity is October the 21st, 1 week after Thanksgiving. We can change this government. If you are concerned that we're going to get a Tory government, then you better vote NDP because you need an advocate in that situation. And if you're thinking of voting for the Liberals again, and you want some of the things the NDP have been talking about, but the Liberals haven't delivered, well, now it's time to change your vote and come home. And that's the message we should be delivering, I think, at the door throughout Hamilton. And I think, your relatives and your friends will be receptive to that. So I hope that we can sit here and talk about the poor representation in Hamilton East, Stoney Creek, federally, not provincially, federally, and we can talk about it until we're blue in the face, but now's the time for action. Now's the time to come and pick up one of my forms and fill it out. Because if you don't have the money to donate, that's fine. You have the labor to donate. You have a place for a sign to go. We are, all of us, Scott, myself, Matthew, we're all going to be working very hard to change our lives and to better our lives for everyone. So I would really encourage you to get active to the degree you can. Talk to your relatives and get them to be active to the degree they can, because this is our opportunity to change a government that talks a good line, just doesn't deliver. And we're here to deliver those changes that are important to you and your families going forward. So thank you very much for the opportunity to come. I look forward to seeing you again in the future.